la la la.
Oh, boy. Hey, I'm Erin.
I'm Nicole. I've had a Bloody Mary.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Welcome to Dudes That's Fucked Up. We're still on the Bloody Mary train.
Yeah, I bloodied right through to this week.
You bled through?
I bled through to this week.
You.
That's good.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, I got these little cans. They're very good. I enjoy them, but they're very spicy. But I'm enjoying it.
Nice. Looks good. Looks tasty.
What do you have?
Welcome. I made like a little pomegranate. It's like a health tonic. Pomegranate and
Gin?
vodka.
Oh.
With some lavender bitters.
Oh, MJ. That sounds fancy.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Dude That's Fucked Up, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome. You guys, like I just noticed earlier, we're on our 37th episode, which is fucking crazy.
Wild.
We have posted, I mean, the content of this podcast is is subjective to whoever is listening. But I'm just proud of the fact that we have posted an episode every week for 37 weeks.
Yeah, no breaks. We're super consistent.
We're like, if we don't have any talent or we're not funny, at least we're consistent.
Yeah. That is a quality to be admired, I think.
Yeah.
It's a secret to success, really.
Yeah, it is.
One day it will bear fruit, but until then, we're going to keep cracking.
TBD, y'all. Stay tuned for when this podcast gets good. It's going to happen soon. I can feel it.
I think we'll hit our stride in like maybe around 60 episodes.
Oh, cool. We're more than halfway there, bitches.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
Any business to attend to?
Yeah. So, we got a bit of a straggler birthday email I wanted to share. I haven't read it. Okay, I started reading it, and then I got to a part, and I was like, I have to save this.
Oh, my God.
Because I feel like it's going to be really funny. It's anonymous, which is really fun. The ones in the birthday episode, episode 35, were from a lot of our listeners that we kind of interact with on a regular basis. But this person is anonymous, so that's fun.
Great.
That's
super fun.
Where do they live? How long have they been listening? We don't know.
Yeah.
But
how old are they?
How old are they?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out like their gender. Oh yeah, we will. Okay. Oh well, maybe not necessarily. Okay, I'm gonna read it to you.
Great.
So I don't know if it has any drinking game in it. I didn't.
Right. Well, I'm gonna just drink anyways. So.
Okay. Yeah, we're just enjoying our drinks anyway. Okay. So it says, "Hi ladies, sorry for the delay, but this isn't a birthday story, so I'm going to assume you ain't mad." Oh, just kidding. It's not a birthday story.
It's just a story. It's just a regular old
story. So
just some fucked upness.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So based on the episode about sex toys aired by a certain podcast, hint, it rhymes with dude that's ducked cup. I realized that my vibrator was getting on in years. Did you know that vibrator years are like dog years?
I was just going to say, it sounds like she's talking about a dog.
Mine was about 5 in real time, but like 70 in vibrator years, and wasn't really holding a charge like it used to.
Aww.
Oh, that's what happens when you get older. Stamina breaks down.
Gotta send it over the old silicone bridge or whatever the fuck sex toys are made out of.
Gotta lube it up and slide it on.
Shoot it out.
Yeah. Slide it on an ice luge out into the water for it to melt on a snow cap or whatever.
Or pollute the water, whatever.
Yeah. So I decided to follow this podcast recommendation and ordered from the Broad City line. We should get a commission.
Dude, seriously.
But that's so awesome.
That's rad. That's super cool.
The item arrives in discreet packaging. Thank God. Okay, cool.
Good to know.
Instead of good old double A's, it has a USB charger. Oh no.
Mine has a USB charger. It's great.
I don't know where she charged it. Maybe we'll find out.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Go on.
So I plug it in overnight. I excitedly tell my significant other about the purchase, and he is happy because maybe he'll get lucky. Next day, I try to turn it on. Nothing. Consult the instructions. Nothing. Plug in and realize the little light that indicates charging comes on for a second, but then turns off. Great. I have a dud.
Oh, no.
I finally get up the nerve to contact customer service and request a replacement item, using only this euphemism in all my correspondence. Item in quotation marks.
Oh, item. My item.
My item. The kindly customer service gentleman informs me that my replacement is in the mail. Unfortunately for me, my mom was about to come for a visit. Oh.
Oh, no.
And my mom is the kind of person who will ask about mail and packages. What is it? Can we open it? So I start to get nervous. How I am going to make sure she doesn't see this giant vibrator. Oh, how am I going to make sure she doesn't see this giant vibrator I've ordered?
Girl, let her see it. She'll never ask you about mail or packages again. Two birds, one stone.
That's how you teach a lesson.
Yeah.
In a little... Snoopy Susie's or whatever. Yeah. Fortunately, she was out of the house and I was home when it arrived. I was so delighted. I opened the outer box and package, tucked the item away in my bedside table. I even surreptitiously plugged it in so that it would charge without her noticing. I was feeling relieved and, dare I say it, smug. No harm, no foul, right? Wrong.
Oh, no.
The next day she left, and after I got back from dropping her at the airport, I noticed that a little advertisement pamphlet thing had fallen out of the box packaging onto my kitchen counter and was in plain sight for like 24 hours.
You know, she was like tidying up her kitchen for her and was like, oh, what's it? And just was like looking at it, and it's probably like even more extra than what she actually bought. You know what I mean? It's probably like something super gnarly. I don't know.
Like it has like the whole line of complimentary products to go with it.
Yeah, it's like, try this butt plug, try this, like, I don't know, like, nipple clamps. Nothing like it. There's nothing extra about it, but it's just like you probably just getting a standard old, you know, vibrator, and then you got all the accoutrement,
the bells and whistles.
Yeah. And the mom's just like, huh?
These nipple clamps whistle, for your enjoyment. So she says, I have no idea if she saw it or not. And that's the story of how DTFU caused me to be maybe embarrassed about sex toys in front of my mom. Keep up the good work. P.S. About 2 years ago, my toddler was playing in her bedroom once and opened her bedside table while she was in the room, and all three of us saw her little bullet vibrator. So I guess we're even.
Wait, her mom's?
Oh, okay. I thought she meant her toddlers.
Oh. Nope, that's not a thing.
I was so confused. I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, how would a toddler know what that is?
Oh my fucking God. No.
The mom.
Like, the mom, okay, your mom knows you have sex because you have a child.
Your mom knows you masturbate.
Your mom knows you masturbate, and
she always
your mom has a sex toy. Yeah. I think it's time to not be embarrassed about this.
But, you know, I feel like both of our moms are very, like, open and talk to us about that sort of thing.
I mean, my mom tries to, and I'm always like, no. But it's Mom, just because it's your mom. It's just because it's your mom. I get it. I totally get it. But, you know, it's not like I want to, like, compare notes on sex toys.
Oh, no. Oh, my God, no. But, like, also, I think we're, like, a little bit more comfortable with our moms. And we see them as, like, not just moms. I think we, like, see that our moms are, like, people. But some people don't have that relationship. But I feel like we've always had that in a way. So, because our moms are like very open with us about talking to us and stuff. But not everybody has that sort of mom.
That's so true. Yeah. I'm really glad. I mean, it was like a really big adjustment when your mom starts, when, both your parents start talking to you when like you're an adult and not a like kid anymore. It's really jarring and uncomfortable. But I don't know. It's like, it's a thing that you learn to get used to.
Well, sometimes it's too much, and you just say, I mean, sometimes you're just like, no.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Boundaries are very important in adult relationships with your parents. Like, it's such a weird thing to have to learn. But yeah, I remember I mean, it was like a lot of sadness surrounded it, but it was like, I remember like when my grandma died, it was like, that was like when my mom just became this completely vulnerable person that I just saw as a person for the first time, I guess.
Yeah.
And was just like trying to get through all this shit. And I was just like, fuck, she needs help and I don't know how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard. It's super hard. So sorry. This is super heavy. Sorry.
That's okay. No. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. Anywho. Yeah. That's a great story. God bless our moms.
Yeah.
God bless sex toys. Let's keep it moving though. Let's not talk about our moms and sex toys in the same sentence anymore.
Yeah, we're done. The end.
We're done with that.
Never again.
Never again.
Not today, Satan. Okay, well, do you have any more business?
No, nothing that is of note for the people.
I feel like we keep saying this, but we're getting closer on the shirt stuff. We saw like, or we have like a bit of a design and like concept going on.
Yeah.
So it's getting closer. Just
communication is happening. Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
You're gonna wear it all the time.
Horrific.
It's gonna.
If you will.
It is.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. I think that's it for business.
Cool.
Probably.
Anything fucked up happened to you this week?
Oh. Okay. So our car is in. Our car had like the check engine light come on. So we made an appointment and they were like, oh no, it's like this part where it's covered by the California emissions or whatever. California emissions. Emissions. California emissions.
Admissions. It's like a college for cars. Go on.
This Bloody Mary is getting to my head.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, biatch. And so they were like, oh, we'll order the part today. It'll be fixed later. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, the part didn't come till like way late. And so we got a loaner car and it took fucking forever. And then it was just like a long day. I didn't have my phone charger. I didn't have like, everything was just kind of off. And so it took me like an hour and a half to get up to Hollywood, but it was rush hour in the morning and that's to be expected. So whatever. But then my phone died and then I had to come home like around 2. And so I knew how to get home. I mean, like I know all the major freeways or whatever of Los Angeles. So it took me like an hour to go probably like 10 miles, I guess. Just because I was taking side streets and then I got on the freeway and it was just like stopped. Yeah. And then I hadn't eaten yet, so I like got off the freeway and got some food and got back on, and traffic started moving again, and I was like, oh, sweet. But then I was like, oh, but this freeway goes to the 405, and that's going to have a bunch of traffic on it. So I know I'll be really smart, and I'll cut across and go down the 710, and the second I like leave the 110 to get on the 105, it just stops. And I was like, no. And I was basically just sitting. I spent 4 hours in my car that day.
Fuck, dude. And it wasn't even your car.
And it wasn't even my car. It was like a weird loaner car that was actually pretty nice. It was like new. And I usually don't eat in my car. I try not to because we have like tan fabric.
You don't want to get the stank in there. Yeah.
Yeah. But I ate in this car because it was a loaner. And nice. There was like French fries everywhere. And I was like, whatever. And
it's their fault they didn't have the part.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I was just in like nightmare traffic, which is normal here, but it sucks.
It's shitty.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
LA living.
Yeah, but it did give us a good topic for today.
Yeah, this I don't have anything fucked up this week, but as I was researching, as I was kind of hinting at just a minute ago, we're doing the topic we're doing today is Carmageddons.
Yeah.
Like the worst traffic in history, which is only a really recent phenomenon, obviously, because cars and people
yeah,
are more part of our recent history. But DC is number 3 on the list of worst traffic cities in the United States.
Oh my God.
And LA is number 1. So
yeah, it makes sense.
We are living in some of the worst traffic areas ever.
Yeah.
Now I avoid a lot of this because I don't even have a car, like I said. But it's you gotta leave the city sometimes to like go to the airport and stuff. So that's
or you just Uber sometimes. You're like, oh, this is in. I would have to take 3 trains or whatever to get to this place, so I'm just gonna Uber.
Yep. Yeah. I don't.
Or Lyft.
I walk. I walk everywhere, and we have car to goes here, which is just those little smart cars, and
that's fun.
Bike. There's so many forms of transportation in DC. It makes it really easy to get around. However, if you're leaving DC proper, is where it gets like dicey. So the road situation is not good.
Yeah.
So, but I don't have any real reason to because I don't go outside of DC.
Oh.
I got everything I need here.
Yeah.
If I ever need to like buy anything weird, I just go on Amazon. But yeah, so yeah, Carmageddons, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like they're my worst nightmare, essentially. Because I have pee anxiety and I like to be able to go to the bathroom whenever I need to go. And if I'm in a car, I already am anxious that like I'm not going to be able to go. And if you're stuck in traffic for even just like the other day I wasn't stuck in traffic for 4 hours at a time. It was like, almost 2 hours and then a little over 2 hours on the way home.
Yeah.
But like even on the way home, I luckily wasn't thinking about it because I was so annoyed that my phone was dead and I kept getting on the wrong freeways thinking they'd be clear and they were just like there was an accident or whatever and it was just stopped. That I wasn't even thinking about it. But if I was in a situation like a Carmageddon and knew I couldn't go to the bathroom, I don't even know what I'd do. Or maybe I would just like not have pee anxiety at all.
Well, here's the thing. In LA, you have the ability to get off the freeway pretty easily.
True.
Here, you don't.
Yeah, that's true. It all stems from living on the East Coast. Because there's huge blankets of space where you can't get off, and even if you do, like it's not like here where there's a bunch of fast food places and gas stations at every exit.
Yeah. Like out here on the East Coast, it's like you get off the wrong place, you have to drive like miles out of your way to find civilization. Or it's like it's so weird because it's like you take an off ramp and you literally go like a mile or two off in another direction before you see anything. It's really strange.
It is.
So or you just end up in Baltimore. Like you're like, whoops, I got off at the wrong place and now I'm on a toll road to Baltimore. Like, what the fuck?
And then you can't turn around.
Can't turn around. You can't get off and correct your mistake very easily like you can in California. Yeah. And that said, you can't get off the road very easily and go pee. Yeah. It's a production to get off the road here.
Oh, God.
So it's very stressful driving around here. And you can't see anything. That's the thing. Like you can drive down the freeway in California and you're like, oh, there's a Shell station or there's a fucking In-N-Out or Del Taco. Oh man, I miss Del Taco so much. Anytime they talk about it on My Favorite Murder, I get really, really homesick.
I went there twice last week. But I usually don't go.
It's so good.
I haven't been in so long. I got the Double Del Classic Burger the first time, and it was so good. And so then I went back and got it a second time, and it was not good. And now I'm like, I've had my fix for a while.
I just like getting breakfast from there. It's really
So
solid.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah. So the reason we have traffic jams, like I said, it's like very new phenomenon. It's because there's tons of cars, especially in the U.S. Well, not especially. Like in any developed country or underdeveloped country, there's now large populations of people that have vehicles.
Yeah.
So causes of traffic that are just beyond what we can see are because of a few reasons. We have a sudden increased population in metropolitan area. Like if there's like, you know, a new city that's just booming for whatever reason, usually the roads aren't designed to accommodate tons and tons of cars. So, and then it takes them a while to catch up to like, you know, redoing the roads or making it so that it can accommodate tons and tons of traffic.
I think that happens a lot in like outside of San Francisco, how there's like lots of little more suburban pockets. They get really bad traffic, or like San Jose, or like places that are in commuting different distance, because people are like, oh, it's cheaper to live here, and I'll just commute in, and then it's
that's like here in DC, everybody lives that works in the city, they're commuting into a small targeted place all at the same time. And then they're commuting out at the same time, and it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
So network overload, construction, trying to make the roads bigger usually, or trying to make, you know, add an extra lane or whatever, that you need to do that at some point. So therefore you have to have construction that holds stuff up. Incidents or accidents, bad weather, obviously, and poor signal timing. But really it just all boils down to too many fucking people.
Yeah. And that, like, I feel like it's the worst when I'm usually okay when I anticipate traffic. Like during rush hour, I know it's gonna take me a long time to get somewhere, so I'm like usually kind of chill. Or like a holiday weekend or whatever, like you just know there's certain times where it's gonna be bad, and you can like mentally prepare yourself for that.
Right.
But it's the times when you're like I've been coming home from Las Vegas once, and there was a really bad accident, and there's stretches of no exits, kind of like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And there was a really bad car accident, and so literally they shut down the highway, and we all just sat there. Like I got out of my car.
Fuck.
It was so
That's
bad.
so gnarly.
But you can't like anticipate that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're just like, you're fucked. You're not moving at all, and you're not going to be moving at all for a long time.
Yeah.
The worst cities for traffic ranked in the world.
Yeah.
Starting from the bottom, Paris, France, is number 10.
And
Atlanta.
This is by hours spent in congestion.
Yeah. There's a lot of different metrics to measure measure traffic, but this comes from a source that's that measures it by
by hours spent average per person per year.
Yeah. So Paris, France is number 10. Atlanta, Georgia, USA is 9. Magnitogorsk. Magnitogorsk.
That's probably good.
Russia is number 8. London in the UK is number 7. Sao Paulo, Brazil, number 6. Bogota, Colombia is number 5. San Francisco, USA, number 4. New York, number 3, of course. Moscow, Russia, number 2. And LA, number 1.
People spend on average 104 hours in congestion a year.
In LA.
In LA. If you live and drive in LA, you spend 104 hours of your year in
That's
traffic.
Fucked. That's so fucked.
That's so crazy. And that's probably like, since that's the average, people spend so much more time.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you have like a little bit of a further commute, like you could be doubling that.
I just, I would just rather live somewhere completely different, I guess.
Yeah. It's so frustrating because it's something that can't be solved, it seems like. I mean, there are ways to solve it, but it's not through building more roadways or whatever. It's like alternate forms of transportation.
You need to have more forms of transportation, period.
Yeah.
You have to have a stronger like mass transit, and you have to have better hubs of business. Yeah. So and places where people can live and commute easily. It's just we can't figure it out.
And we're not dum-dums.
We're not dum-dums. There's millions of stats. There's millions of studies. There's so much being thrown at this problem, and it's still it's eluding us.
Well, it's because there was a stat that it's estimated that traffic congestion costs the United States alone a whopping sum of $300 billion per year in gas and time. That's just $300 billion per year of wasted resources, essentially, because people are sitting in traffic.
Crazy.
In the United States. That's so crazy. So, I mean, yeah, I feel like they want to throw resources at it because they're like, well, let's try and recoup some of this money. Yeah. Resources. So.
Yeah. Not to mention it makes people fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's a shit show out there.
Yeah.
I am glad I don't own a car. Some of the worst traffic jams of all time. Let's get into it. Back in 1969, 3-day festival.
Maybe you've heard of it.
Motherfucking Woodstock.
Oh, groovy.
It's not so groovy. There's a traffic jam that lasted 3 fucking days, and that was 20 miles long. And I think it was before to get to the show.
Well, yeah, I think there was congestion getting into the show and parking, and then people were like, well, I don't want to wait. I just want to get there and do drugs and get naked.
So they just parked their cars in the middle of the street.
Abandoned their cars and
fucking assholes, man.
Yeah. But then, okay, that's a fine idea at the beginning of the 3-day festival. But what about when it's over and your car's 19 miles away from the festival and you're all hungover and coming down from some weird trip and you have to walk back? I mean, actually, I guess you could bum a ride from someone going out, but yeah, it just seems like an awful way to start and end.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is we're talking about country roads here leading to this this person's farm where it was.
Yeah.
And they were not prepared for it.
Yeah.
And so there's the scene from Masters of Sex. Did you ever watch that show? In the final season where what's her name? Libby, she goes to Woodstock randomly and just gets out of her car and hangs out with a bunch of hippies, and I think that's a pretty solid, accurate depiction of what the traffic jam was like.
That's what I was thinking of too. She's with someone though.
Yeah, she was with her boyfriend.
Yeah. So she's bye, whatever.
And then she just left, and he was all right, bye. And then she's I'm just not coming home for days.
But then she really mellowed out, and then she had a Volkswagen van after.
Yeah, it was pretty badass.
So she found herself there.
She did.
As did so many.
So many. So yeah, that was a rough one. That was 1969. And then we got next up 1980, Paris. They had a traffic jam that stretched for 109 miles.
Oh my God.
Which that's a long traffic jam.
I'm pretty sure
that's a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the one in Paris held the record until a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That's a really
for the length of the jam.
Yeah.
So this was caused when people were returning to Paris from their winter vacations and getting caught in inclement weather. It's pretty shitty.
That's brutal.
And that's super brutal.
I mean, it doesn't clear up for days.
But there are probably super chill and Parisian about it. So I don't know.
They probably just like smoked all their cigarettes and like
they smoked and fucked in their cars.
Yeah, like in their berets or whatever.
Yeah, their scarves and their like.
It was like the scene from Titanic, but instead of a hand, it was a beret that came out. And like, went down the window, or a baguette.
An Hermes scarf just like fluttering out the window. Yeah.
Have we ever told the story about when that woman punched your mom in the boob at Hermes?
I totally forgot about that.
We were there for your birthday, your 21st birthday.
In Vegas.
In Las Vegas. And we were in the Bellagio shops.
Yeah.
And we went into the Hermes store and they were like, we were looking at the scarves and they were like, oh, you can do so much with the scarves. And we volunteered your mom for the lady to like do a little demonstration on. Yeah. And she like tied it into a halter top. And when she was like adjusting it, I think she like pulled. I don't know what happened.
It's like she pulled on something and her hand slipped off and she like punched my mom in the boob. And my mom was like, oh.
Yeah, she was like, oh, rude.
I know. But it was like funny because we could not afford anything in there.
Oh, no. And we were drunk.
And we were wasted. And it was like we were just laughing the whole time. It was great. Let's see. Oh, then we have in 1990, the border of East and West Germany opened up. And this was the first holiday after the fall of the Berlin Wall. This is the Easter holiday. And this is after the fall of the Berlin Wall. And it ended up that it caused one of the biggest traffic jams ever there. About 18 million cars were stuck on the road. That's crazy.
Oh, my God.
But this is because it was like the first chance in 40 years that a lot of people had to like go across the, the divide and see their friends and family that had been on the other side. So this is like the first big holiday. Yeah, but it caused a horrible, gnarly traffic jam. So.
Well, yeah.
And then, of course, in New York, in 2001, September 11th, everything came to a standstill. Like everything, no cars were allowed to go anywhere. All the roads, all the tunnels, everything in and out of the city were totally closed. If you were on the road at that time, you're pretty fucked. Like everything just like grinded to a halt. All the flights were grounded. Everybody was just stranded in the city. Yeah. So, and it caused gridlock for a few days, actually. So, that was crazy.
I would guess that, like, people probably left their cars in that instance, too, maybe, in some cases, just trying to, like, because, New York's not that big. You could walk. I walked from Manhattan to my house in Queens once because it was really windy and I think a tree had fallen on the 7 line and all of the buses were full there was only one train that would take me to my house in Queens, so I just walked. It took me like an hour and a half or something, but it was fine.
If you would have like been on the I don't know, on the streets like in a car, you wouldn't have gotten home for like 3+ hours probably.
Yeah. It was, because there was it was like traffic and, well, just all the buses were full. Maybe it wouldn't have taken too long, but I couldn't get a cab or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that you can get out and walk is
nice. Yeah, because it's so small, technically. Like, New York City is not that spread out, so.
Yeah. Well, this and also in 2001, like people had cell phones and stuff, but like I imagine like all the cell service was jammed up and people couldn't really communicate. So it was probably just mayhem. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
And then in 2005 in Houston, Texas, Hurricane Rita was bearing down on the city and 2.5 million people, I think, were mandatorily evacuated.
Yeah.
And this caused a backup of 100 miles on I-45. So
crazy.
They have different evacuation protocols now because of situations like this. Of course, like in an evacuation, if you are asked to leave and it's a mandatory evacuation, you should absolutely leave. But the government and the city needs to have a reasonable and, well-planned way to do that first. So, and this doesn't seem like they had it together.
No, but it did. I mean, I think they like stood behind it because it would have, it wouldn't have been good for the people that would have stayed behind. So
was this before or after Katrina? Because it was in the same year as Katrina.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Because I can imagine the panic that would have caused if it was
after.
After, yeah.
Yeah, so, that makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all bad. I mean, it's just, that's the thing. It's like when you live in these huge cities, it's like any kind of disaster is like very scary. So, and it's because of these reasons. Like you can't, there's evacuation routes, there's plans put into place, but it doesn't matter sometimes when everybody's trying to get from point A to point B.
Yeah. Well, and like that's such a scary scenario already. Like, oh, there's a hurricane coming, and then you're like, oh my god, so all right, we all gotta leave, and then you can't get anywhere. I could imagine that it would be like that would make me extra anxious because you're like, we need to leave here, but I'm stuck in traffic for. Literally, people were stuck for 24 hours in some instances, and the traffic lasted for 48 hours. So like
this is why people wait out hurricanes the way that they do, and it's like there's just no good answer sometimes.
Yeah.
One that I didn't put in here was in Japan. There was a really bad traffic jam that was because of I think a tsunami warning. Yeah. So, kind of same thing. But that was like in 1990, I think. Anyway, this one lasted for 48 hours, and some people are stuck in their cars for like a full day, like full 24 hours. So, really scary. And then in Beijing, China in 2010, this backup in Beijing was 62 miles long, and it lasted for 12 fucking days. 12 days. 12 fucking days on a highway. And parked in your car, basically.
And I think, like, people legit, like, it's not just that it lasted 12 days, and so, you know, some people were on it for a couple hours, whatever. There were literally people there for 12 days. Like,
yeah, like, you're in the middle of it. Yeah.
They were just in the middle. They couldn't get out.
God damn it.
They were stuck there.
Fuck.
That is, oh my, I cannot imagine. Like, that is legit my nightmare.
Like, people were stuck in this, some people were stuck in this for, like, the whole traffic jam lasted for 12 days, but some people were stuck in the traffic jam for up to 5 days.
Oh, so no one was there for full 12
No, not
days.
for the full, not for the full 12 days. So, but, like, the local people that lived around there where this particular snarl up happened, they came, like, vendors came by to sell, like, instant noodles at 4 times the usual price and water at 10 times the normal price. So
that's fucked up. It's gross that people see that and are like, ooh, it's an opportunity for me to make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get it, but
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's so gross to me.
Yeah. People are fucking assholes, man.
Yeah.
There were reports of people stealing gas and money out of people's cars. Again, fucking assholes.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it was ironically caused by road construction along it. So this happened on the Beijing-Tibet Expressway. And this was it was caused by road construction that was supposed to ease the traffic. So it was like all these heavy trucks like were clogging up and they helped cause this. So
I don't
think this isn't the only Beijing highway though that this happened on. Oh, there's another one that happened in 2015. We'll get to that one later. Yeah, so China has some of the most insane traffic jams of all time. There's a really great episode of This American Life about the crazy traffic jams in China. Like there's a reporter that was there for something else and she like gets in a car with her like interpreter or her like not her interpreter but I like her handler or whatever, and their driver, and they start going and they get stuck in traffic and they're there for like hours, and she's just like, like looking around and they're just like in stop traffic and they're just like, and the driver just like basically shuts off his car and is just like, la la la, this is normal. And she's like, I have to be at this place. Like, what do I do? Like, I like getting frantic, you know? And they're like, oh, no, this is like normal. And it's just like, it's part of the culture of,
oh my God.
And this is how it is also in other parts of the world, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, it is so to have that like built, but you were just like, you were saying at the top of what we were talking about, like how you just, when you know it's like rush hour and you expect to be sitting in your car for hours.
Yeah.
And you have to like mentally accept it sometimes. So it's all you can do.
You just have to like mentally prepare. The times when I'd be really anxious, like on a normal day going into work, if I didn't have a meeting first thing, I'd be fine. Like, it could take an extra 30 minutes or whatever. I wouldn't care. I'll just get there when I get there. Mm-hmm. But if I had to be in by a specific time for anything, I was always like
frazzled as fuck.
Angry, screaming at everyone. Yeah, like just like doing ways, trying to, you know, get all through all the side streets and stuff, which is, it sucks. And it just is like, man, it's so stressful. I can't even imagine having to sit in some of these.
Oh my God, I know. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of gives people a chance to just kind of like decompress in some ways. Like, there's literally nothing you can do about it. So you just have to like, Jesus, take the wheel and go.
as long as you like adopt that mindset.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Then,
but maybe you'll be stressed out, and then like this girl, like this woman in the episode of This American Life, she was like super, super upset and frazzled, and then just realized like, I literally can't do anything about this.
What are you supposed to do about it?
What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do about it? So
I think that's why it makes me so anxious, because you have no control over the situation.
Yeah.
Like if you got stuck, you know, like a few years ago, I think there was an accident on the 15, like going up towards like out to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And people were stuck for hours, and you just are there. You can't turn your car around. You can't leave. It's not within walking distance to anything. Like, you're just there. And for me, I'm a fairly healthy person. So, like, it wouldn't be the end of my world if that happened. I would just have to go with it. But there are people who, you know, maybe have, like, medical situations. Or, like,
what the fuck do you do?
You... And, like, I guess you'd have to get, like, helicoptered out or something if something bad enough happened. But... yeah, I mean, it would have to be a real emergency, because that's a lot of resources.
That's why like you keep the emergency lane clear, like the shoulders. You don't, you know, you got to keep those clear. That's why there's certain things that you got to be mindful of.
Well, and like my mom carries around a case of water in her car.
Good for her.
Yeah, she always just has a case of water in the back. It's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Chicago 2011, there was a massive snowstorm that dumped like almost like I think like 20 inches of snow in one go, and it caused a backup of 12 hours. And this is mostly people leaving the city to go home to the suburbs, like during rush hour kind of thing. But it dumped snow so fast that people just literally couldn't move. Yeah. And I think people ended up having to like leave their cars, and it's really fucked. And this one reminds me of last winter, like last January 2016, there was a sudden snowstorm, and they call it a clipper, I think. And that precedes a big snowstorm that came through the area. It was already really cold, and it only snowed an inch, and it happened during rush hour, like right before rush hour, and it fucked the city up so bad. Like people were, because it made the roads really slick, like really, really bad, and it caused this huge traffic jam for like 9 hours of people trying to commute back home from work out of DC into the suburbs. But unlike Chicago, we're not really prepared for really big snowstorms. I mean, we kind of are getting the hang of it now, but like this was kind of shitty because we weren't prepared for this little itty bitty storm and didn't think much of like getting an inch of snow.
Yeah.
But they didn't treat the roads because they were so focused on the big storm that was coming. They didn't have the resources set aside for another smaller storm.
Yeah.
So it really fucked the city up. Like Vox even wrote a piece on it about how it was just like just an inch of snow, but it was like the perfect storm of things. Like everyone was focused on this other storm. The roads were icy and the drivers were like just unprepared for the winter weather, and it was just a fucking nightmare. So
yeah.
So yeah, that happened in Chicago, and then in DC, this like my little anecdote was like it was kind of embarrassing because it caused like this, like I said, this crazy backup for 9 hours. I think like there was like people were like, I think somebody was like pregnant. I think I remember like a story like that.
And like had a baby on the side of the road.
Yeah,
I bet.
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't go back far enough to find all the little anecdotes that came out from this story, but it was kind of embarrassing because it's like, oh, fucking DC can't handle an inch of snow. Like that's always the joke anytime we get bad weather, but it's because the infrastructure is like already bad, like for traffic. But we've had so many big snowstorms in the past several years that are just totally unseasonable.
Yeah.
Or not unseasonable, but like totally uncommon, that they've started to have to do better with the budget to have the resources to handle it. So it's very interesting. So those are some weather related shit. In Moscow in 2012 there was a 125-mile traffic jam that lasted for 3 days, and this is another like snowstorm situation. It was on a highway between Moscow and St. Petersburg, so it's like a highly trafficked area, and like the snowstorm hit and people were like fucked. So
oh my God.
kind of the same thing that happened in Illinois. Sao Paulo in 2013. This is the longest backup in their history so far. It stretched 192 miles.
Oh my, is that the longest
That's
in
like,
any history?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had the record in 2009 because it also happened. They had another traffic jam that was 182 miles.
Oh my God.
So I'm trying to think about what almost 200 miles is. Like
Is that like from Long Beach to like Santa Barbara or San Luis Obispo maybe?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking
far.
It's it's so insane.
Oh my God.
It's like definitely, I think it'd be like from, God damn, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's so fucking far. Anyway, it's like for some people in other states, it's like from like the width of fucking Delaware. or like from, DC to, I don't know, New Jersey or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Like that's like 400 miles or something.
Oh,
anyway,
I fucking almost nailed it. Long Beach to San Luis Obispo is 209 miles.
Damn, dude. Can you imagine being in traffic?
No.
For almost 200 miles.
No.
That's so fucking gnarly.
Kill me. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go. I'd turn around or I just.
This is why people just stay at home.
I like home. Home's a good choice. I like home.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Sao Paulo, a regular Friday night sees stretches of traffic up to 100 miles long.
Why? I'm never going there. I will never go there because I don't even want to get from the airport to my hotel. Like.
No. Mm-mm.
Sorry, Brazil. Looks awesome. I am sure I'd love it, but I can't.
No, they have a whole entire culture based on traffic there. Like people read, shave, put makeup on, watch movies in their car, like read books. Like I already said read, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's just like they're resigned to it, just like in China. They're resigned to this like knowledge that if they have to get from point A to point B, they're going to be in traffic for literal hours.
I read that the people have even opened like coffee carts and shit.
Yeah, there's like there's whole economies that have sprung up around the traffic where people just like walk around selling shit.
What? It's
so
like
gnarly.
Carpool. I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
There's like no one solution, but it's just crazy. Like, I couldn't.
It's wild. I would save all my money and get a goddamn helicopter or something.
Like, copter me around.
Yeah.
I'd get a fucking jetpack. I'd be like, I'd get like 12 drones and I'd program them to fly together, and I'd just wear like a little suit that like attached to the drones, and I'd just drone myself to work. Yeah.
Or like a zip line or something. It's just so insane. It's so insane. And then so the next one is Beijing again.
Of course.
This is the 50-lane highway lane. 50-lane highway. This happened in 2015. This it's the G4 Beijing Hong Kong Macau Expressway.
Oh my God.
Which has 50 lanes, and this was caused by a new checkpoint that made it. They took the 50 lanes down to 20 lanes, and so this one only lasted. I mean, this lasted hours and hours and hours, but it didn't last literal days like the other one from 20. What was that? 2010.
Yeah.
So, but the pictures of this are just insane. Just insane.
I mean, China has a lot of people, and traffic's gonna be a problem.
It has never. I mean, you envision like, okay, tons of people, sure, a huge population, sure, but you can't really fully grasp it until you see pictures like this of people just sitting.
50 lanes is a lot. Like, it looks. You look at pictures of the 405 during like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving or whatever. It looks like a lot. But you look at
it's almost beautiful.
It's almost beautiful. Yeah, it's like white on one side, red on the other. It's very like glowy. This 50 lanes of traffic is crazy. It's like a stadium parking lot or something.
Yeah,
but it's people on the road.
It's fucking humanity, man. It is just crazy.
It's interesting. I read that China's like trying to do something about it, but I think like from a government perspective, so like one day a week, if you live in like Beijing proper, you have to leave your car at home one day a week, and they do it by like your license plate number, like whatever the last digit is. So like, if you know the last digit is 1 or 2 Mondays, you can't drive this car. But the other problem is that people have usually in one family more than one car anyway. Yeah. So then it's like, oh well, everybody has a car. But yeah, they're trying to do lots of things to help regulate. But how do you do it? There's just I don't know. I feel like they should anywhere, I guess, there should just be mobile businesses where you can like there should just be mobile cafes and mobile salons and mobile whatever it is you want to spend your time doing or whatever you need to be doing that like are on your commute. So like if on like Monday I needed to get a haircut and I needed to get to work, you just go in the mobile salon on your way into work, and then you take a different business home. That's the wave
like
of
you're
the future.
saying you get into a vehicle that is a fully
functioning
operational
business.
Fuck, that's genius.
Right? What if you in the morning you're like, oh, I gotta get to LA from Long Beach. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get on the Starbucks bus. I go on, there's a barista, I get a coffee, I sit down, there's Wi-Fi, there's a little bathroom in the back.
That's like a train.
Oh, true. But we don't have that good of a train system here.
Yeah. No, I know. But if it was like individual, like bus, like kind of things, that'd be sweet.
Or like you need to get like your pap smear or something, you get on the doctor bus. And by the time you get there, a doctor's appointment takes an hour anyway. Yeah. So then you're done. You're almost there.
Yeah, I feel like all the moving around, though, might be dangerous for your vagina.
I'd be more worried on the haircut bus about the movement. The vagina, but the pap smear bus, I mean, I don't know. It's not, there's not too many sharp objects down there. Just don't get an IUD while you're there.
No.
You get that on land.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be rough. That'd be really rough.
You go to the static office for that.
Yeah. And then the most recent one that was like newsworthy was in Brabus.
I like it. Yeah.
Indonesia.
We're Brebe's kids.
Brebe's kids.
I love that movie.
It's great. This was in Indonesia in 2016. It was 12 miles, not relatively long compared to some of the other shit. 12 miles long traffic jam, which lasted though for 3 days. And this happened in July of 2016. July in Indonesia is probably pretty gnarly. It claimed 12 lives due to heart attacks and heat exhaustion.
Oh my God.
And so the reason, I
didn't even think of that. Like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Could you imagine being in like Palm Springs or Las Vegas in the middle of summer and this happening?
Yeah, and your like car runs out of gas or something, you don't have any air conditioning.
Oh my God.
Fuck. Yeah. So the reason this happened is because a major highway junction in Brebe's kids. It's a city that's on the main Indonesian island of Java. Was choked. Like the whole junction was totally backed up because thousands of people were returning from Eid holidays. So Eid is like one of the biggest holidays in Muslim culture. So it's like a big deal and everybody is celebrating it. And that's one of the big reasons there was some of the 2015 backup happened, I think, in Beijing was because it was like during Golden Week, which is a huge travel holiday for people in China. So
tourists come and stuff.
It's just a very popular time to be traveling, and it's like estimated that like half of their population travels during this time. So it's just fucking wild.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so people have died in traffic jams like this. It's so fucking insane. But yeah, those are some of the worst ones. What's the worst traffic jam you've ever been in?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been in one where like I feel like I'm in traffic a lot, so it all kind of blends together. But I do know that one year we flew in from New York to I think to Long Beach, and we rented a car or something, and we picked up my brother and we went to drive to Palm Desert where my grandparents lived. And it took us like maybe 5 or 6 hours.
Yikes.
To go 2 hours worth of, I mean, not even 2 hours worth.
And that's on top of like you taking a
flying
flight home.
Yeah.
That's happened to me before too.
It's brutal because you plan it around the holidays and you don't think like, you're like, oh yeah, I'll get in on Wednesday. It'll be great because I'll have the rest of that day and then like all day Thursday to hang out or whatever. And I wasn't even thinking about driving because I didn't think about driving when I lived in New York. So I didn't think about like traffic, and it was rough. It was really brutal.
You're like, I need to get up and move.
Yeah.
That's happened to me before too, flying in from DC, like 5-hour flight, 4.5-hour flight, landing at LAX, and then trying to drive into wherever.
Yeah.
And it took like 4 hours, like twice the amount of time that it normally does. And then my parents decided to stop at like the Subaru dealership because they had to like get something. And I was just like, I can't do this, man. Yeah. I gotta move around. And so like I was doing lunges in the parking lot or whatever. But the worst traffic jam I've ever been in, just in terms of it being like kind of an emergency situation, was when I mean, it wasn't an emergency. It was just like needed to get going. This is last year. We were flying out of LAX. LAX is a fucking mess right now. It's just been so bad. I don't know if it's always a mess, but like they're trying to do all these renovations, so it's particularly bad.
Yeah.
So we dropped off our rental car and we're on like the shuttle bus and like going into the departure area, and it's just stopped. Everything just is stopped, and we're sitting there and we're like, shit, we're gonna miss our flight. We got to get off. We have to get off the bus. We jumped off the bus. We're running through traffic, pulling our luggage. Meanwhile, this is when I had my my ileostomy. And I have like, and we just had.
Was that after we had dinner?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That was after we had dinner with you guys and our friend Jessie and her husband. And so we were running through like this parking lot in the airport, basically.
Good thing you looked super cute because you were wearing like overalls and stuff.
Thank God I was wearing overalls because I had this bag of fucking shit sloshing around on my stomach, and I was like holding it, trying to run, and I'm like digesting at the same time, so it's like filling up slowly as I'm running for our fucking gate. Oh my God. Oh, it was a nightmare. It was so uncomfortable and so awful. Like that was like the first time, because when DJ and I travel, like DJ's, I mean, we're both really good travelers, but DJ's very good at timing.
Yeah.
And just is like has his shit together, and that was the first time I've ever seen him like fuck, like we're fucked, like we need to go, and he never panics. He's always like super even keel, but he was like, and I was like, no, we can make it, let's go. And we just hustled, and it was awful.
Yeah,
never again.
Oh God, I feel like you were texting us like play-by-plays on the shuttle. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I had to like immediately dump my bag as soon as we got on the plane.
I bet.
It was so gross.
Is it weird not to use your asshole for a while?
It sure is.
But it was so clean back there, I bet. You could eat off of it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it was pretty pristine.
There was no poop coming out of there.
No.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Wow. That's
it's a very, very strange thing.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
No. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
Don't fly in and out of LAX on the holidays.
No. I love Long Beach Airport all the way. It's so nice.
It's so nice. Oh my God.
I lost a wallet. I lost my wallet the night before. I was working late. I wasn't drunk or anything. I was working really long hours for like a few weeks, and I was just like brain dead.
Yeah.
And I left my wallet. I think I had been at a conference or something that day, and I left my wallet in a cab.
Oh no.
Here in LA, and the next morning I couldn't find it. I couldn't find my ID. I was supposed to get on a flight with Pete. I couldn't find it, so he had to go without me. I had to rebook mine, and I was like reading up online, like if you forget your ID, or you don't have it, or a passport or anything, they were like, you get searched, you have to do this like interrogation, all this stuff, and you also need like a social security card. You need your birth certificate, like whatever you have. I got to Long Beach. I was like, here's my stuff. They're like, okay, we just have to check your bag. They just like opened it, looked around, like did a little like pH level test, and was like, all right, thank you. Huh. I was like, fuck yeah, Long Beach Airport. You guys are chill. Like
it's so chill. And they have a dope wine bar there with like outdoor so nice. Like fucking fireplace and shit. Oh my God.
I went up to the bartender and I was like, okay, I don't have my ID because I lost it. I have my birth certificate, da da da. And she's like, oh, I've seen you here before. Do you need something?
What?
Yeah. She remembered me because I've traveled out of there, and we had a conversation. And she's like, "You live here, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh yeah, I know you." And I was like,
"Oh my God,
I
dude!"
was like, "I need a bloody." She's like, "I bet you do."
I have never heard anything about an airport like that before. Yeah, that's insane.
It's so good. It's like a little community airport, but it's not. It's like a nice, real airport.
And it's like cool because it's like kind of throwback too.
Yeah, and it's all
outside.
It's
really cool. Yeah, it's
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah,
flying in Long Beach. What a great airport.
So nice.
So what are some of your survival tips for if you get caught in a Carmageddon?
Okay, we were talking about this because obviously I've already mentioned it, and going to the bathroom is like first thing on my mind.
Number one, totally.
Hopefully it's just number one.
Yeah, hopefully.
And not number two.
Oh, I meant like number one priority. Yeah.
I know. I was making a joke.
It's a good
one. So that's my first thing. And you said your grandma, Erin texted me that her grandma carried around a toilet in her, like a portable toilet in her car.
I think she just like always had like a little like Folgers can or something, just in case.
I thought it was like actually a little portable toilet, and then you're all,
it might have been.
A Folgers
I think
can.
I remember that. I think my mom told me, or like she told me that or something, and I was just like, huh.
That's amazing.
Why not?
I would. I don't keep stuff in my car. The only thing I have is like an insulated bag from Trader Joe's that I would have to use as a turlet.
A turlet?
Yeah. It doesn't even have a working zipper. It's broken. But I think that would be the only thing in my car that would like one stand up to the liquids and other things in it. And it has a handle, and I could probably like handle it over to the side and dump it out. So I think that would be my toilet.
I think I would get like a big gulp cup because I think that's the only thing that I mean, actually I've peed into smaller cups before. As long as there's like a big enough like opening, right, you're good to go. Yeah, but it just needs to have capacity for your full bladder. So yeah.
Well, and that's the thing with women. We can't just pee on the side of the road easily.
Or into a Coke bottle or something like dudes can.
We don't have the aim. And if you pop a squat, it gets everywhere. It just gets everywhere. So that's what I would do for a toilet, I was thinking.
Yeah, that's smart.
Then I was thinking, like, what would you do for food?
I always keep beef jerky on me.
Like at any given time?
Yeah, I just always have it.
Is there some on you right now?
I also always keep trail mix on me.
Really? Yeah. Like in your purse, not on your person.
Not on my person, in my purse.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah, always. Literally,
I usually
always.
have a RX bar or something. Just like
I would keep like a Laura bar or like like I said, I always just have trail mix, like the individually wrapped ones from Trader Joe's. Always. Oh. I'm like a mom without any kids. Yeah. I'm a mom for myself.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. You're a nurturer for yourself.
Yeah, self-care, man.
You'd be able to barter with it too. I feel like food would turn into currency.
Yeah, any kind of food item could be currency if you're in the parking lot of a Carmageddon. I don't smoke, but you might just want to invest in having a pack of cigarettes on you at all times.
Those just could be currency, like currency. In prison.
Yep, prison. Always water, like your mom keeps on her.
Yeah.
Smart.
I think also currency would become like if you know how people have those like portable charging devices.
Oh, I always keep one of those on me too.
Yeah, that could be used as currency because you could barter with it. Like you could give someone a few bars of charge for a water or something. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm ready for anything.
How would you pass the time though?
Would take naps. I always keep my Kindle with me too, or like a New Yorker or something. Anything that's I don't know. I wouldn't want to, kill the battery on my phone, so I wouldn't use that too much.
Maybe keep a paper book on you at all times now.
True. That's a good point.
Like a paperback, not a heavy one.
No, that's why I always have like a New Yorker in my bag because it's small and you could just roll it up. You could also use that to like fight off people. You roll it up and smack them around. Yeah, that's what I guess I would do that to standard. What would you do?
I don't know. Well, yeah, naps are good. Maybe if I had a deck of cards.
Yeah, or deck of cards.
A newspaper would be great because you could do like a crossword puzzle. I feel like I don't know, I'd like make friends and stuff around me and like see what they were doing. Yeah. And then maybe like we would prank other cars that were stranded or something, or like dare people to go like talk to people. I don't know. I don't know. But just do something fun to be stupid and pass the time. Yeah.
Pool your resources once you like forge some new relationships. Yeah. Super smart.
Actually, I'm like super type A, and have you ever done that 16 personality type thing?
Test? I live for personality tests.
What is yours? Do you know?
Like, I'm an ENFJ.
I'm an ENTJ.
Oh my God. ENTJs are kind of rare, I think.
Yeah. I'm a commander, so I think I would go that I'm like the commander or whatever, which totally makes sense. I'm very type A and I like to be in control. But I would go like I'd probably like work with the cars around me to like establish where the toilet area was. Like we like all of a sudden
you're like a community organizer.
Yeah, I'd be like the mayor of our little car town. Like people would be coming to me with their problems. I'd be like a mob boss, kind of. I'd like start up a whole like currency system, and no, I wouldn't do any of that.
You already kind of are, so you're laying some good groundwork here.
True. Yeah. Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done too. That was great. Sorry if you're sitting in traffic listening to this. But it could be worse.
Oh, God. Let's hope it's not.
Thanks for listening, guys. Follow us on social medias at DTFU Podcast everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the places. You can go to our website, dtfupodcast.com, for more info. Shoot us a note at dtfupodcast@gmail.com if you have a story or anything like that. And
share with a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. But don't even just tell them. Share it with them.
Share it with them. Shoot us a review on iTunes if you feel so inclined. There's been some really good ones lately.
Really fun.
Yeah.
And we just love it. And we love you guys.
We love you guys so much. Really appreciate all of your love. And that's all I got.
Same.
All right. Be excellent to each other.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.